Your Amazon trash can grow you dinner. Today, I'm turning shipping boxes that usually pile up in your garage into mushroom food, inoculating them with spawn, and stashing them in a closet. In a few weeks, we'll be harvesting real mushrooms out of this Amazon box. What's up, mushroom fam? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. Today, I'm gonna talk about how you can utilize spent Amazon boxes as mushroom substrate. And if you'd like to start off with high quality genetics, check out our Etsy shop, Fresh Fungi. I have over 30 different strains, which we ship globally, most of which will grow awesome on this cardboard Amazon box. Why would a cardboard Amazon box make such good mushroom substrate? It has lignocellulose, which is mushroom fuel, especially for oyster mushrooms or other secondary decomposers. Secondly, it's very low cost, and in today's world, you could pretty much find these boxes for free anytime you want. Thirdly, they hold moisture really well. So the corrugated cardboard is essentially just smushed together dead tree cells. Those cells will hold water very well and allow for the mushroom to grow freely, along with the lignins that are left over, which mushrooms feed on. So the first step is to choose the right box. So I'm sure you could get away with using all of this, but ideally you want to use corrugated cardboard without any writing or any plastics that are infused on the outside. This could create hydrophobic areas in your substrate, which wouldn't be ideal. But like I said before, you could get away with using this entire box, and I believe that they're recyclable, which is another really good feature of Amazon. So Amazon, being an eco-friendly company, makes it really easy to grow mushrooms on their boxes. And another advantage that I just noticed is that the tape itself isn't plastic either. So they're very environmental friendly, and this will work really great for growing any mushroom, especially oyster mushrooms. So the first step is to hydrate your cardboard. So you can achieve this in a bucket really easily. Basically, you just want to hand shred your box and put it into a bucket with, about quarter-size pieces would be ideal, or you can shred it into strips, just something that will compact really easily for the moisture test. So our goal is to achieve 60 to 65% moisture content with the cardboard. Now, I would say you can let it soak overnight, but it only might take a few hours submerged in water. And then after you have the cardboard completely submerged in water, you're going to want to do the squeeze test. So like in my other videos, essentially, you're going to want to pull out that substrate in your fist and squeeze it. And if you see a few drips come out, you know that it's the ideal moisture content. Once you have your cardboard substrate, you can go ahead and treat it like any other mushroom grow. So I'm going to be putting my hydrated cardboard into a grow bag, inoculating it with pino mushrooms, incubating it, and letting it fruit out in a monotub. This is the easiest, most basic way to grow mushrooms. You don't need anything fancy, just a clear tote that can maintain the moisture content until you're ready to harvest. Some things to watch out for along the way is colonization. So some factors that are going to determine a good colonization is how well you pack this substrate. So smaller pieces are going to have more surface area, which is going to lead to better growth. Also, you're going to want to squish out any air pockets that could help dry out the mycelium. So ideally, you would have finer particles that are packed really nicely into the mushroom bag, and this is going to allow for good colonization. Secondly, you're going to want to make sure that there's no contaminants. So these are industrialized cardboard, which should have a pretty low microbial load, but I would recommend sterilizing like you would normal substrates. You could also use lime pasteurization, but it might be more challenging with using this cardboard. So once you've colonized your block, it's time to fruit it. So just like in any other mushroom grow, it's going to require a temperature differential, some air exchange, and some lighting to fruit properly. So I'm gonna place my block in this box here and cut some slits in it and then place it into my monotub. And that way it will maintain the proper humidity to fruit, and I can observe for any problems or growth along the way. Once your mushroom starts to pin, you're gonna wanna pay closer attention because these mushrooms will grow rapidly. So it will take about a week to 10 days for these pinos to flush out completely, at which point I'll harvest them and wait patiently for another flush.
Oh, look at this stuff.
Ooh, look at those mushrooms. Say pino.
Pino.
Yeah.
Those are pinos mushrooms. Oh yeah, all those spiders.
Oh, they're alive too.
Wow, look at those.
All right, so look at these gorgeous mushrooms. These are pino mushrooms, and I'm going to be using some of them to make spore prints here. So let's go ahead and it looks like they're flushing out from the bottom of the box where most of the moisture was. Look at those gorgeous pino mushrooms. So I'm gonna be putting some spore or some caps in these petri dishes here. Making some spore prints off these. You can see all the spores on this valve right here. So this one is already dropping. Look at that. And I really like this one here. Now these spores could be collected and used for breeding. All right, guys, so it's been 2 weeks and we've got a second flush on these Amazon boxes. So there's definitely enough water content in there to do 2 flushes. I'm probably gonna go ahead and throw this in the compost bin, but this has been a really cool experiment. And worst case scenario, you can always grow food on Amazon boxes. I hope you enjoyed that video on how to turn your next shipment from Amazon into supper. Drop your questions below and tell me what you want me to grow on next. Until next time, much love.